My name is Danae. I'm doing my project on kickboxing. We're going to go over the basic center jog stance, we're going to go over punches, we're going to go over kicks, and we are going to go over the blocks. So just a little bit about kickboxing. Kickboxing actually originated through the art of Muay Thai, and then American kickboxing is a derivative of that. So it basically came about in about 1980, 1989-ish. Each article is a little different on when the timing comes. Like I said, each article is different as far as the timing. So the technique is basically from martial arts. As far as what we're going to do today, we'll practice the center jog stance, like I said, the boxing stance, the kicks, the punches, and the blocks. Once we're done with actually going through and demonstrating these techniques, I'm going to demonstrate them alongside of one of my assistants. He's going to be doing most of the demonstrating on that end of it, and I will be walking him through it more at the teaching aspect of it. So once all of these things are done, we are going to go into our sparring match, which is the end game activity. I'll take my top two students and I'll put them together, and we are going to have an amazing sparring match. Of course, I will be watching to make sure that there's no misconduct of any type or that there's any unsportsmanlike activity taking place. So here we go. Okay, so as far as fitness development, when it comes to kickboxing, there's some fitness activities that are going to help you out more than others. So one of them is going to be jump roping. I know when people see boxers and boxers train, they do a lot of jump roping. Reason being, jump roping is great cardio as well as a full body workout in general. The second one is going to be the upper leg stretch. Upper leg stretch is really important when it comes to boxing or kickboxing in general because of the fact that you're going to be using your legs to block, you're going to be using your legs to kick, and if you aren't stretched properly, there's a good chance that you are going to be more prone to injury. Another fitness activity that I think is going to be necessary is going to be the lower leg stretch. Lower leg stretch is also for the same reason. You're going to be doing a lot of kicking, you're going to be exerting your legs, jumping around a little bit all over the mat to make sure that you're, not making contact with your opponent, or your opponent can't make contact with you, I'll put it that way. Another one, as far as fitness activities, would be the upper back stretch. So when you're throwing punches, people don't realize, but your back is engaging as well. Your whole torso is engaging. So it's important that we stretch out our backs, lower and upper. So the next one that I'm going to go into is the lower back stretch. This one is necessary not only for when we're engaging in punches, but also when we're engaging in kicks and blocks. There's some blocks in which you have to, block a kick, so you're going to raise your leg. It's going to engage your lower back, your glutes, and your hamstrings and quads. So with that being said, if your hamstrings are tight, your lower back is going to be tight. So it's important that we're stretching our lower backs as well. Aside from those, basically you can do any kind of full body stretch. Weight training, resistance training is great, but cardio and stretching is going to be your best friend when it comes to kickboxing. Alright, so the first skill that we're going to go over is the boxer stance. Boxer stance refers to the athlete placing their feet shoulder width apart, but with their weaker side closer to their opponent. So for me, my weaker side would be the left side since I'm right-handed. So this will be my block hand and this will be my punch hand. So if it's behind, then I'll be able to throw a much more stronger punch to my opponent. Also, we'll go into step by step how to get into the stance and how to get out of it, but it should feel very, very comfortable when you're in this stance. From this stance, we go into the center jog stance. Center jog stance is going to be more sideways, still with your weaker side closer to your opponent, and your left foot is going to be out. If you're left-handed, then your right foot is going to be out instead. This feels a little awkward for me since I'm right-handed, so I'm going to go back to the left foot being out in front. My body is almost sideways to my opponent, with my closer leg, or my weaker leg closer to my opponent. Alright, so the next thing that we're going to go over is going to be the proper way to punch. So let's get into our center jog boxer stance. Once we're in this position, we're going to take our hand, put a fist, make a fist, and then we're going to take the thumb and cross over it. Once we're in this with both hands, we are going to use the jab to fill out the distance between yourself and your opponent. So it may be shorter, it may be a little longer, but when we're punching, we're going to punch and turn our fist. Okay? So like this, right? But it's going to be up a little higher. So the other one is going to be the actual punch from our second hand, which is going to be your dominant hand. When you punch with this hand, you're going to turn your body and go into the punch. Once you connect with your opponent, of course, you'll come back. Remember that this hand is just to fill out, and this one is to completely attack your opponent.
Perfect.
Okay, so just to clarify, the jab isn't always used to fill out your opponent. You also can connect with the opponent through your jab. But for the most part, it is going to be used to fill out your opponent, the distance. If you need to move in a little bit, if you need to move out a little bit to the side, it's just going to tell you where you are in space in comparison to your opponent. Alright, so the next thing we're going over is the blocks. The first block we're going to go over is a block if you are blocking a punch to your face. So the first way to do this is we're going to take our hands, put them up like we're putting pretend binoculars over our eyes, and once the opponent strikes at you, you're going to close them. You're going to slide back with your center jog stance front foot, which is going to be my left on this one. So once again, we're going to go from here to here. Close it. Alright? So that is going to be your punch block.